Ion formation. What is an ion? An ion is an atom or molecule that has gained or lost an electron. When an atom becomes an ion, it acquires a charge. This charge may be either positive or negative. If it is positive, it means that it has lost an electron or electrons. And if it is negative, it means that it has gained an electron or electrons. Positively charged ions are known as cations, while negatively charged ions are known as anions. Metal and nonmetal ions. Metal atoms and nonmetal atoms go in opposite directions when they ionize. Metal atoms lose the electron, or electrons, in their highest energy level and become positively charged ions. Nonmetal atoms gain an electron, or electrons, from another atom to become negatively charged ions. For example, sodium, which is a metal, when reacting with chlorine, which is a nonmetal, would lose an electron, and chlorine would gain one. Chlorine receives one electron from sodium, completing its outer shell, and this also results in sodium having a full outer shell. This makes sodium a positive ion, or a cation, and chlorine a negative ion, or an anion. Charges. When ions are electrically charged, they obey the rules of Coulomb's law. The rules state that oppositely charged particles will attract each other. The strong electrostatic forces of attraction between the oppositely charged ions are called ionic bonds. Ionic bonds. Ionic bonding is the bonding of two oppositely charged ions, and it can be seen most easily in the reaction of an alkali metal with halogens. An example would be the reaction shown earlier between sodium and chlorine, which react together violently with a bright orange flame to produce a white powder, sodium chloride. The ions attract each other since they have an opposite charge. These ions arrange themselves into a giant 3D lattice, which has very strong attractions holding together the ions, and it needs a lot of energy to break down the structure to form a liquid. That is why it has a very high melting point. Octet rule. Elements from the main group will gain or lose electrons based on the octet rule. The octet rule states that atoms will tend to be more stable when they have a full valence shell. When an atom has become an ion, it reacts differently from its parent atom. Since its valence shells are filled, they tend to be much less reactive. In conclusion, we now know that an ion is an atom that has lost or gained an electron. It does this to become stable and less reactive. Metals will become positively charged, and nonmetals will become negatively charged. They then attract each other and form an ionic bond, which is very strong.